Hi guys. So here we are back with Hate That Cat by Sharon Creech. Now I hope that you had the chance to make some predictions about Jack and cats and maybe why he doesn't like cats at all. And last we knew, he had received a postcard from Mr. William Carlos Williams himself, where he learned that he had a cat, and he was really surprised to learn that. December 13th. Yes, I wrote back to Mr. Walter Dean Myers. I asked him why he likes his cat so much. I asked him if he ever thought about getting a dog. Jack definitely sticks to his guns about dogs being better than cats, in his opinion. And now we're going to find out why. December 14th. The Bad Black Cat. I was standing at the yellow bus stop, minding my own business, when I heard mew, 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 like it was coming from the sky. Mew, mew, mew. And I looked up and saw a big black cat, all fluffy fur and green eyes, crouched in the tree. Mew, mew, mew. And I thought it was stuck. So I climbed up that tree, way up high to the skinny branches, and I leaned way out. And the bus was coming, and I leaned out further, and I grasped the black tail of that black cat. And I was so glad I'd caught it. I was going to save it, and it would be so relieved and grateful. And the bus was coming, and that fat black cat leaped backwards onto my head. It scratched my ears and my neck and my face, and it hissed the most awful, spitting, horrible hiss as it scratched, scratched, scratched with claws as sharp as needles. Oh. Poor Jack. And I was bleeding all over the place, and the cat scrambled across my back and onto my legs and down the tree while I lay there, clinging to the branch, stinging and bleeding, and the bus passed right on by. I hate that cat. Oh boy. You see how when he's using that down, kind of like one of those concrete poems, right? Where he's putting it in the shape of what happened. Well, I guess now we know why Jack doesn't like cats. Although he was trying to save the cat, so I guess he liked cats enough to try to rescue one until that moment. December 17th. Why did the man throw the cat out the window? He wanted to hear it say, meow. I made that up. I thought it was very funny, but maybe you won't like it. I will try to stop saying mean things about mean cats. I crossed off the word mean before cats, so Jack is a jokester. December 18th. I thought you were kidding when you said that Mr. Walter Dean Myers' grown-up son, Christopher, had written a book called Black Cat. I felt like Mr. Walter Dean Myers' whole family must be in my brain. When you started reading the book, Black Cat, cousin to the concrete, creeping down our city streets, I thought it was going to be about a mean cat, like the mean black cat that attacked me. All the words were singing in my head, and I was thinking, wow, that Mr. Christopher Myers knows about alliteration. And it turned out not to be a mean cat. It was a sauntering and sipping and dancing and ducking cat, wandering through the city streets, just like a kid, roaming and poking around. So, I love that. And I think this poem that I'll read to you here Black Cat by Christopher Myers, Mr. Walter Dean Myers' son, is a poem that definitely gets stuck in my head. Like, I can sometimes hear myself saying it when I see a cat walking down the street, or sometimes when I'm walking in the city, because it's a city poem you're going to see. And I like his description about it sauntering. So again, when you're a poet, you have to pick really precise language. So walking is one thing, but sauntering kind of describes a special way of walking. And cats, they sometimes do just saunter right along. They don't just walk, right? Sometimes they skitter here and there, like he described the kittens, but sometimes sassy cats, especially, they saunter. Like they are just in charge, right? So I think you're going to like this one. Black Cat by Christopher Myers. Black cat, cousin to the concrete, creeping down our city streets. Where do you live? Where will we meet? Sauntering like rainwater down storm drains, between Cadillac tires and the curb. Sipping water from fire hydrants. Dancing to the banging beats of passing jeeps. Ducking under the red circling of sirens cutting through the night. In the wake of Sunday night families spilling from blue neon churches. Black cat, we want to know, where's your home? Where do you go? It's like this little vagrant wandering cat, right? Just going here and there, walking through the streets, sauntering along like the rainwater down the drain, next to the sidewalk, in between the streets, the tires in the street and the curb. Gets his water from fire hydrants and dancing to the banging beats of passing jeeps. So the cat's kind of dancing a little bit. I love that cat. That's a really cool cat, I'd say, the way he's describing it there. Now, hopefully you heard in that poem not only all that alliteration, which is really easy to pick up there, and some repetition as well, but this is where, when we were talking about assonance, when we're hearing the repeated vowel sounds sometimes within lines of a poem. So, creeping down our city streets. So you can hear that, creeping streets. And then even the next line, where do you live? Where will we meet? So we hear that E, that long E sound. Oh, and even in the line before, I missed one. Black cat, cousin to the concrete, creeping down our city streets. Where do you live? Where will we meet? So that long E sound repeated 4 times in that first stanza is an example of assonance, when you're hearing a repeated vowel sound throughout. Then I think I saw all right, I thought I saw another one that I wanted to point out in there. I'll keep paying attention to the next one. All right, so what'd you think about that one? Pretty good, right? That Walter Dean Myers' son Christopher is also a poet writing about cats. December 19th, I read Black Cat to my mother, tapping my fingers in the rhythm like you showed us. Hard, soft, slow, and then faster. She drew a circle with her finger, which means again. So I read it over, tapping. And then she put her hand up, stop. And I watched while she tapped the same rhythm as she turned the pages. Hard, soft, slow, and then faster. And then she closed the book and tapped her heart. Hard, soft, slow, and then faster. So, excuse me, we had done some predicting about what we thought about his mom and some of the things he said and did about her. So maybe you've picked up now on the fact that his mother is using sign language, and he did ask a lot of questions about what does it sound like if you can't hear? What do you think in your head while you're reading if you can't hear? And so now we can see that some of these questions stemmed because his mom can't hear. And yet, he's still reading her this poem while she's reading by looking at the words, and he's letting her understand that there's this natural rhythm in the poem. So Griffey has come along. Say hi, Griff. Hello. He's wanting to hear the book about the cat. And so I'm actually going to reread the poem Black Cat, and this time I want you to hear that rhythm. Really pay attention to that this time and see if you can hear that hard, soft, slow, and then faster rhythm throughout this poem. Black cat, cousin to the concrete, creeping down our city streets. Where do you live? Where will we meet? Sauntering like rainwater down storm drains between Cadillac tires and the curb, sipping water from fire hydrants, dancing to the banging beats of passing jeeps, ducking under the red circling of sirens cutting through the night, in the wake of Sunday night families spilling from blue neon churches. Black cat, we want to know, where's your home? Where do you go? I like it. So some poems, or some parts of poems even, you can hear that rhythm more than others. December 20th. When you put up that one line from the Eagle poem, he clasps the crag with crooked hands, and used all of those different color chalks to show how Mr. Tennyson managed to cram in alliteration and assonance and consonants all in one line? Well, I was impressed, but that doesn't mean I remember which is which, and I will never be able to do all that stuff that Mr. Tennyson does. And did he know he was doing it when he did it? I feel stupid. I'm a bad writer. I'm going to quit. Oh, Jack sometimes just does not have very much self-confidence. So I'm going to put that line there. He clasps the crag with crooked hands into our questions this week. And I want to see if you, just within that one line, think you can find examples of alliteration, beginning sounds repeating, assonance, vowel sounds repeating within the words, and consonants. Consonant sounds repeating within the words, not only at the beginning, but in other parts of the words as well. Beginning is also okay, but you're also listening for the repeating consonant sounds in other parts too. December 21st. Thank you for telling me I could forget those confusing words. And it isn't knowing the words that describe writing that is important. It is the thoughts in our heads that are most important. And the feeling that rhythm is even more wondrous than hearing the rhythm. And thank you for saying I am a genius, even though I know you are exaggerating. Parents and teachers always think you guys are geniuses. Because you are. All right, so this one, maybe we'll think about too. What are some of the feelings that you've been getting while you've been reading Jack's poems or the poems of the other poets? And maybe what are your thoughts too about now learning about Jack's mom and some of the other things in this section? All right, I think I'll leave you with one last short poem before the next time. January 3rd, The Gift, inspired by Mr. William Carlos Williams by Jack. So much depends upon a black kitten in a straw basket under the Christmas tree. Oh. Surprise! Did you expect that? All right, we'll stop there. See you next time.